Talking about when you park somewhere and then you get told, oh, you shouldn't have done that, and you end up having to pay out. Jamie Scott, we heard from him earlier. He's got 3 tickets in a fortnight after parking in Lincoln. He's going to challenge them. Now, this is the St Rumbold NCP car park. Now, this is the one just up the way from the Premier Inn. It's opposite the Lincolnshire Archives building.
So we're in the NCP St Rumbold Street car park in Lincoln. I've been parking here for 3 to 4 years now for work, and just before Christmas I was landed with 3 independent parking fines from the car park. I contravened the white parking bay apparently, which they've only very recently painted down on loose gravel. Through the evidence, photo evidence, my car is contravening the white bays, but they're barely visible on the ground because it is loose gravel. It was only in December that this happened. I've appealed all 3 so far, and they have been declined. I'd like this whole car park tarmacked, smooth and proper painted bays so everyone knows where to park, where they can legally park, so this doesn't happen to anyone else.
So NCP, the company that run that car park, have insisted, we've spoken to them, they say no, they're satisfied Jamie's car was parked between the bays. It claims the lines were very visible. It says it believes they have acted correctly and that these sanctions were issued correctly. Let's speak to Scott Dixon, who's also known as the complaints resolver. He's with us. We've sent you some pictures. Well, what do you make of it, Scott?
I think the appeal will be upheld, Scotty, based on the pictures I've sent. That have been sent. And there's been problems for years with this car park, and Google Street View in June 2021, the snapshot shows the car park lines were barely visible then. And Google reviews as recently as 3 months ago cite there's been problems with potholes and faded line markings, and recently painted T-bars over a car park that appears to have been carpet bombed with potholes not resurfaced or swept with loose gravel won't make any difference long term.
Yeah, I'm lucky. So is there, what's the deal with, do they need, because all they've done is these little T things, as you said, which are not, as obvious as fully white lines. Can they get away with just putting those T boxes in, or are they meant to have fully painted white lines?
Well, motorists need to be given sufficient guidance to make an informed decision, and nobody's going out of their way to break the rules. So if the T-bars or the lines are not clear to provide you with sufficient guidance to park your car correctly, that's not your fault. Your appeal should be upheld based on the evidence that I've seen. And what I need to stress is a private parking operator can't fine you.
No.
The issue parking charge notices, which are invoices for an alleged breach of contract and the terms and conditions for parking on private land. And councils can only fine you for infringements on public highways, like parking on double yellow lines or in a bus lane, and they issue penalty charge notices. And they look the same, and there is a reason for that. A private parking operator's business model is to extract money from you, and it's estimated that 80% of motorists pay without question straight away due to the legalese jargon used to imply it's a fine, with threats of escalating court costs and legal action.
Well, it's interesting, Scott. We'll see what happens, because the last time we had you on about the hospital car park situation, that was overturned and sorted within hours. So we'll see what happens today.
Well, I mean, because this happened over the Christmas period, it's too late now, but I'll mention it for the benefit of other listeners. Parking charge notices need to be issued within 14 calendar days of the parking event to hold the keeper liable under Schedule 4 of the Protection of Freedoms Act 2012. And if it's out of time, you won't find any reference to this legislation because the parking operator will try and trick you into paying the invoice that you're not liable for. So if that happens, always check the dates, check the date of the parking event and check the issue date. And if it's more than 14 calendar days out of time, write a letter as keeper citing that there is no keeper liability as your invoice breaches Schedule 4 of the Protection of Freedoms Act 2012. Don't say I or we, because you'll inadvertently identify the driver and transfer liability, and say their only option is to cancel it or provide a code so you can escalate it at their expense.
All right, Scott, good to talk to you. If you want to read more about Scott, there's a lot of good advice. Complaints Resolver, if you want to search him out there. We'll let you know what that goes. Just to say, NCP insists they've done nothing wrong. They are standing by the action they took there.